I love American Dad. I've watched the show for years, and I've never thought about how horrible this man Daniel's childhood was. He himself admits how hard his father's absence was on him.
It's just my dad left when I was young. It was hard on my mom. It was hard on me.
He suffered as a child, he suffered as an adult, his kids suffered. It's not quite the cycle of hatred in Naruto, but it's like a cycle of garbage that made Stanton a Taichi douche. Our first introduction to Stan's father, Jack, he's just Stan. But like way better. This episode reveals that Stan joined the CIA to model his life after him, and after all the moments he made Stan endure as a child, he still chose him as a role model. Even when his character is called into question, Stan's so quick to defend him.
My own father? What a great guy! He hired a man to be my imaginary friend because he couldn't be there.
And even quicker to ditch his family's needs just to join his dad in the all-out war against artists. I mean, Jewel Heist, crazy mix-up. Throughout the episode, Stan moves completely dependent on Jack and what he thought he'd do, and he's still mad he didn't achieve the greatness he was destined for. Like, bro, you just sucked or made a poor career choice. Like, stop blaming others and get to the grind. He only comes to his senses when it is so disgustingly obvious he'd have to be mentally deficient to not see the truth.
I'm hated! I'm surrounded by people who hate me! It's our wedding all over again! Except I'm you!
In this episode, after finding out his neighbor's thoughts about him, Stan becomes obsessed with being beloved and is a massive control freak as a result. And I think it stems from the fact that his childhood was extremely chaotic, and he had zero sense of control in anything going on in his life. Stan's controlling nature also gets revisited in season 10.
That's chaos theory.
Well, I don't like it.
Because you feel powerless and out of control.
First of all, this episode bangs. Second, I must be high constantly because I like that Night Ranger song.
Wait a minute, who is this?
Night Ranger, man. Night Ranger.
Anyways, this was a real interesting episode and great for Stanford's character. Sure, his dad being absent in his life did work to his detriment, but in a lot of areas it helped. Here he was able to connect with Jeff on another level and saves him from jail. I mean, sure, he almost got him sent there, but character development, ladies and gentlemen. Then he brings up how his mother was his father figure, and
That set me back a bit. Don't touch my mommy!
when we first meet his mother, Stan shows he has clear attachment issues due to his father's milk run, and it's further shown in other episodes. That trait of his he successfully was able to pass on to Steve, like an assist. And just like his dad, he forbids all joy in his son's life.
You better not say a word or I'll kill you.
Stan wanted Steve to just forego his childhood early just because he had to undergo the same thing when he was a kid. Stan tries to act more kid-like due to him
Skipped the milestones of youth.
and the episode's conclusion is pretty sad in retrospect. He has to accept the fact he'll never get that childhood and picks responsibility over making up for that missed time. This topic gets revisited though when Stan reveals that he never learned to ride a bike due to his father's neglect, and just like his relationship with his dad, it wasn't something he was going to throw out either. At the end of the episode, they reconcile. Jack's not whack, and this is the last time we'll actually see him. Actually, no. When we see him, it just gets worse. Although there has been some positives, Stan still craves a fatherly relationship, and in what was honestly another banger episode, he gets that, and it was great. Another episode in which he has a father figure is Roots, not like with Kunsa and them though. Stan seems to respond well to positive male figures in his life. Who would have thunk it? The next time we really see Jack, he acts like his last real interaction with the family didn't happen. Now, having him conflict with his old tendencies would have been great and interesting writing, so of course they didn't do that. He realizes family's importance again because of a musical, but in his defense, it was slapped. In the holodeck, not the thing you from like the show or something, we see Stan looks back on this series of events fondly.
How is he liking this?
All trash, yuck. In conclusion, I don't like Jack in this show. We need to get Jack off. If things had turned out differently, I think Stan would have ended up exactly like his dad. What keeps Stan grounded and prevents him from becoming his dad is his family. Although his mom isn't perfect, she did her best to raise him upright. He has a supportive wife who treats him well and loves him sincerely. 2 kids he gets along with depending on the episode who have been able to teach him things he had never have learned on his own. There was also like a dog and a guy in his attic or something. They don't do much. Safe to say, Stan's upbringing and character development made him a good old-fashioned American dad. I got the show in the video. That's what's done. Jersey.